Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be having a look at Creed's Virgin Island Water. This is another one in my all-time classic series that I've been doing recently where we just shoot in this POV style. As you can see there, I've got a silver cap on mine. It's actually the old style cap, but this is the newer style 100ml bottle, and I believe it's actually a 2019 bottle that I've got here, Virgin Island Water from the House of Creed. So here we talk about what I consider all-time classic fragrances, really ones that will stand proudly in the Hall of Fragrant Fame. I started off with a few designer ones, things like Terre d'Hermes, Dior Homme. Last time I did Green Irish Tweed from Creed, and a few people said, well, at least one person said, what about Virgin Island Water? I reckon that belongs in the list, and I heartily agree. So here it is. By the way, if you're interested to find out more about Gravitas Pour Homme, the fantastic fougere fragrance created by perfumer John Stephen for my brand, then just follow the link in the description to visit naughtonandwilson.com. I only got this one actually at some point within the last 6 months or so. Was really happy to add it to my collection, and it is one of the absolute classics from the House of Creed. In the other videos I've been giving a little bit of background information about the fragrance house that produces the scent. We did that before with the Green Irish Tweed video, really about Creed, but I will talk briefly about the brand before we get into this rather beautiful fresh citrus scent. So Creed, of course, a long-standing brand with a history going back many hundreds of years, right back to the 18th century. There's a little bit of vagueness and muddiness really about exactly who, what, how, where and when all the things that they say happened with the brand of Creed. But suffice to say, they do have quite a big historical kind of spiel on their site. They like to remind us that they've made fragrances for royalty and that they continue, of course, to be a house favoured by many famous celebrities. It's really the big name niche brand in the world. If the average person in the street knows a niche fragrance brand, it's the House of Creed. If you're enjoying the video, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done so already, then you won't miss any of my future content. So let's get into this subject today. 2007 saw the release of Virgin Island Water. So very much one of the modern generation of fragrances that's come to make Creed famous, particularly for very fresh, beautiful citrus scents. So it came out 3 years before the fragrance that really made the house world famous, perhaps to the average person as well as the fragrance fan, which was of course Creed's Aventus from 2010. But 3 years earlier, one of the somewhat earlier ones that has the name of Olivier Creed and his son Erwin Creed as the creators, the perfumers for the fragrance. So it's a citrus fragrance officially on Fragrantica, citrus aromatic you could say, but apparently just citrus according to Fragrantica, for what that's worth. 50ml in the UK on the Creed website is currently priced at £165, or the 100ml bottle £230. So rather an expensive fragrance. You may find it at reliable discounters with a slight discount. So the idea with this fragrance, it is inspired by sailing trips apparently, or maybe one particular sailing trip in the Caribbean where the Virgin Islands are located. It is supposed to capture something of the beautiful freshness in the air around there. The trade winds are mentioned in one of the bits of blurb that I've seen online, and it's also supposed to have a little bit of a vibe that perhaps reminds you of a beautiful tropical cocktail. I'll list the notes for you guys. Bergamot, lime, mandarin and coconut in the top. In the mid, you've got jasmine, hibiscus, ylang ylang and ginger. And the base notes are sugarcane, musk and white rum. So this is a fantastic fresh citrus fragrance. The main notes that really stand out to me, I think, are lime and coconut, and that is a combination that works exceedingly well. The sharpness, the zestiness of green lime mixed with the somewhat milky creamy sweetness that one gets in a coconut, and of course a coconut, a tropical fruit, so there's a slight tropical vibe there straight away. The fragrance is very, very invigorating. It has a real happy kind of aura. Creed has a number of fresh citrus fragrances. There are things like Neroli Sauvage, Erolfa, also very, very fresh fragrances. Those perhaps arguably have a little bit of an old school cologne vibe. And the great fun thing about this is it really is almost a new genre of fragrance, because it isn't the typical Neroli Portofino-esque 4711, or let's say even Eau de Guerlain or Guerlain Eau de Cologne Imperial. It isn't the traditional fresh Eau de Cologne style fragrance, although it has all the brightness and all the beauty of any of the best of those, but it has something a little bit different. Don't forget, if you'd like to join the Smelly Army private members club over on Patreon, there's a link in the description to do that. It costs just $2 a month and you get an extra video from me every week, plus you get to watch everything I've already uploaded in there. We're building a really nice community, lots of interaction, and I'd love to see you in there. One of the important things to mention, apart from the beautiful lime and coconut notes in this one, and there is bergamot and mandarin, and it's hard to pin down all the exact citrus notes. There's a lime, in case you didn't know what one of those looked like. The middle notes are really lovely in this one. A really beautiful sense of white floral notes comes through to me. We've got jasmine, hibiscus and ylang ylang in there. I don't personally pick up on a ginger note, so I'm going to gloss over that one, but I get a beautiful combination of fresh citrus, white florals and a subtle underlying sweetness that just, it kind of seems simple, but it works so perfectly well. And at least when this was released, I think it was a rather unique scent indeed. The base notes are officially listed as being sugarcane, white rum and musk. I'm not sure about a white rum accord. I wouldn't say I noticed that. Sugarcane, again, what does that really smell like? Perhaps it's just vanilla, but there is a sweetness in the base which is very, very pleasant, and perhaps a very clean, pleasant white linen type of muskiness. It's the absolute perfect fragrance to wear on a hot summer's day. On a summer holiday, it would be the ideal fragrance. Of course, the Virgin Islands, undoubtedly a very popular holiday destination, and if you went there, this really would be a great fragrance to wear. But I've taken it on holiday in Europe, and similarly it feels great to wear this after a day baking in the hot sun, to put on a fresh shirt, perhaps to go out for a meal in the evening, and to reinvigorate with this fantastic, zesty and slightly tropical scent. That's the unique thing about it. It's not only zesty and fresh, but it's also sweet at the same time. That's a really neat trick they've done here. Also very cleverly marketed. As I say, a white rum note. Do we really pick up on that? No. But when you read the description and the note listing, it makes you think. The performance on this scent I find to be really good on my skin. It's a modern batch. A lot of people lament that the performance used to be better. Now it's not the same. I can't discuss older batches because I don't have one, but I find it really does perform rather well. It lasts for a good 7-8 hours, that kind of thing. Okay, not as a hugely projecting scent after the first hour and a half, 2 hours, but I'm afraid that's normal with nearly all fragrances apart from Absolute Beast. So it's well within acceptable limits for a citrus fragrance, and I would honestly say rather above average. And don't be afraid to over apply this one a bit. It's a beautiful smell. It can't offend anyone. You can wear it all year round. It can be a signature scent. It's totally unisex. Men and women can wear it, and it's really impossible to imagine any sane person objecting to this scent. So superb, beautiful citrus, summery fragrance, suitable actually for any time of year, but it will really put the icing on the cake on a beautiful summer's day, perhaps in the right summery, happy, beautiful location of maybe a drink that you would enjoy on a lovely summer holiday somewhere hot. There is a fragrance which is very similar. Gorse by Laboratory Perfumes. So if you're looking for something more affordable and you can track this one down, it's easy to get in the UK. I think you can get it somewhere in the USA as well now. Gorse from Laboratory Perfumes, they never said it, but it's essentially a clone of this one, and it's extremely close. Maybe just not quite so beautifully sharp and brilliant in the very, very opening, but it really is an excellent clone. In the world of clones, this is one of the most similar to the thing it's based on that you can possibly find, sort of around the £65-70 mark. So worth checking that one out if you're looking for a more affordable alternative. So for me, standing really very much alongside the brilliant classic green Irish tweed in the great, fantastic achievements of the House of Creed in terms of fragrances, I would put the only other ones up there in the same league for me would be maybe green Irish tweed, Bois de Portugal, undoubtedly one of my favourites, and maybe Aventus, but that's a slight victim of its own success now. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Smelly.